We'll start out tonight with our forum, which Don is going to kick off and give us some good information about the section convention. And then we'll do the rest of the show. So Don, if
Thank
you're
you,
ready.
Andrew. So here's what we're going to do for our tips and tools and techniques session for the next 30 minutes. I have the enormous good fortune to have Bud Hippisley, Bill Maureen, and Ed Gibbs. These are our ARRL folks. And I've posed to them a very simple challenge. Explain to us what a Virginia Section Convention is, why should we care, and what's so darn good about it. So that's going to be their mission. But before I turn it over to them, I'm going to go over just a little high-level stuff, and they're going to get a chance to talk to us. And then Ed Gibbs is going to drill down deep and talk to us about one session that he has set up that is innovative in my book, because he's got a group of fantastic speakers. They're going to do a roundtable. And Ed's going to talk about what the idea was behind that roundtable. And that's in only one of 3 tracks. So that's the setup. Don, Bill, Bud, and Ed. And then Andrew is going to talk to us about his track. Then Mike's going to give us a few minutes on the boot camp. Joe's going to give us a few minutes on hot topics. And Brendan's going to give us a few minutes on the Virginia Aries ICOM track. So here we go. We are indeed hosting a conference. It is called the Virginia Section Conference. Most of us have no idea what the Virginia Section is. And I'm looking forward to Bill and Bud and Ed setting us straight on that. Here's a couple of resources that you need to know to set the stage for our special guest tonight. First, here's a flyer that you're all going to see in your mail shortly. And it's very lovely. It talks about the convention, hosted by the award-winning Hamvention Club of the Year, which is the club that you all belong to or support. And then we've got a bunch of sponsors, and these sponsors have grown since we've done this. And these sponsors have either contributed financial support to the club's charitable activities, or they've contributed giveaways for our raffle to support our charitable activities. So we're very thankful for our sponsors. We appreciate their belief in us, and they're willing to support what we're doing. They'll also get mentioned during the convention, of course. So there's a flyer. Now, if you want to know more about the convention, you'd simply go to the Vienna Wireless.net website. And there in the top menu is a convention menu option. If you click on that, this is what you see. We've got 3 tracks. Mike Imany is leading the first track. Joe Sable is reading the middle one, and Brendan is leading the third. They're going to tell you about what those are in a few minutes. Behind this high level, we have a detailed schedule. There's a schedule. So this identifies for each of the 3 tracks, almost to the hour, by time slot, who's going to be talking and what topic they're going to be talking on. So we'll have 3 simultaneous presentations going on. To attend them is going to be as difficult as clicking on the Zoom link. There'll be 3 different Zoom links. Click on any one of them at any time during the day. There's no cost to your participation. We do want you to participate, but you're not going to be charged for it. And you can go between the conferences, between the tracks, for as long and as little as you like. And there's going to be opportunities in many of the sessions for some interactivity, some back and forth. It is not a traditional Zoom meeting. You don't need your camera to participate. You just need a web browser to watch the presenter and to participate in any Q&A afterwards. So as you know, we are a charitable organization, and we have expenses to do the good work that we do. We're going to try to cover those by our sponsors and by a raffle. ICOM has generously stepped up and provided us, as well as we've made this happen, with a lovely ICOM 7300. That's a raffle prize. We also have an ICOM ID 4100, beautiful radio. Got this great handheld, digital capable, and then a more traditional handheld. But there's more. We have a lovely, powerful Bino battery that's going to be raffled off. We have a bunch of books that's going to be raffled off. And we have gift certificates from ARRL that are redeemable at their on their website for all of the AAR wonderful materials. So, and I think we're going to get even more stuff in the raffle. So For everybody that's bought a raffle ticket, I want to say thank you. For everybody that hasn't bought one, I want to say, get your clicker going. It's not hard. Go to the website. All you do is pick the number of tickets that you want to get, and you see you can buy up to 10 at once, which is a good idea. And you click buy now, and the workflow is easy, and you will have supported your club, and we all will appreciate that. All right, thank you, everybody. So now we're going to turn it over to the professionals who know what they're doing. Bud and Bill, do you have a preference for who goes first?
I do. I'll go first.
Very good. All right.
Because
Thank you so much for coming here and getting us straight. I'm very appreciative. The floor is yours.
yes, as director to Bill's vice director, it's my one of the privileges I get as a director is to choose which easy subjects I'm going to cover and let him do the hard subjects. So I go first. First of all, it's a delight to be here. It's wonderful to see all of you people turned out. I do believe this is the largest single club meeting that I've Zoomed with in the past, 12, 13 months, I guess. And I want to congratulate you on your winning the Club of the Year award. That's just phenomenal. Brendan and I had been talking prior to what was going to be your event last year. And of course, we all were very disappointed with the onset of the pandemic affecting things. I had my travel bag for West Virginia on the bed, and I was just about to zip it up on Thursday before their convention in Charleston back in February, I guess it was, a year ago, and got the call that the governor of West Virginia had shut everything down, and we've been virtual on everything ever since. One of the things that's gone virtual on us is the board of directors meetings themselves. The board of the league typically meets in person, usually in Newington, Connecticut or nearby, in January and July of each year. And in January, there's always challenges with the weather, but we had just come back from the January 2020 board meeting, and bingo, everything came to a grinding halt. But typically at those board meetings, to save on travel expenses, some of the board committees, the major committees, the standing committees meet the day or two before the board meeting. The board meeting is always on a Friday and a Saturday, and the committees will start meeting sometime Wednesday and then Thursday all day long. Both the Programs and Services Committee and the Administration and Finance Committee meet. And even if you're not on the committee, if you're a board member, you can go attend those meetings. Well, I don't know what they're going to show you at 7:30 when you have your virtual tour of the W1AW headquarters station, but there's only one conference room big enough in the headquarters building for a committee meeting, and typically that's the Administration and Finance meeting. And the other meeting, the Programs and Services Committee meeting, is held in the upstairs of W1AW. Now, if you've ever been there or if you've seen perspective pictures, you know that that's not a huge building. And the upstairs is really only a half-high story, but there is a conference table up there. And you have to watch it very carefully when you're walking up there, because there's some really strong roof beams, roof trusses that you can really conk your noggin on. All of us who are not on the Programs and Services or Administration and Finance committees have to kind of pick and choose during the day which subjects we want to get to. Each of the two committees has an agenda, so we typically will go back and forth between the two rooms. I've found, regardless of the agenda, that it's smarter to always start with the Programs and Services Committee meeting, because they have donuts and they're gone fairly quickly in the morning. So I usually begin there no matter what they're talking about. I wanted to talk to you about being a convention versus being a ham fest. And Bill Bill can fill you in on some of the details that I'm not going to cover, but I served for a number of years as the committee chairman for the Rochester, New York, the program committee chairman for the Rochester, New York Hamfest. And there was a period back before I was on the committee when that was, I believe, second east of the Mississippi, second only to Dayton in size. And that was one heck of a Hamfest. When I first started going to it, they were doing exactly what you are doing with your Winterfest. They ran 3 program tracks, and my remembrance of those days and my participation as a program chairman made it very clear to me what the advantages are of being a convention. And you get you have a better shot, and of course this is all non-pandemic. I mean, this is an unusual year. You're holding a virtual convention, so the rules are different. But in a normal in-person year, a convention can get can pull more weight, if I can put it that way, at getting speakers from the league, getting other benefits from the league. And Bill will go into the details on this. And one of the things that a convention can do that you can't do it at a Hamfest is have a wolf hong ceremony. Well, you have to be interested in the history of ham radio and all the way back to Hiram Percy Maximum, and to really know what that's all about. But that's kind of a fun thing, and something to think about doing if you continue to be the section or the state convention. And I'm going to turn it over to Bill, but before I do, one thing I'm going to mention is that if you choose to be a convention in the years going forward, and you consistently have the strength in terms of the organizing committee, if you have the strength in terms of the attendance, in terms of the program, and are rewarded for that by being named a section or a state convention by the director each year that you choose to do that. One of the things that does that you might want to think about, and no promises here, it gives you the potential to ask to be a national convention some year. And that you might want to do. You have a lot of stuff going in your favor, including the metropolitan area that you're located in. So as you look at the work involved in putting on this event and what it's going to mean work-wise in the years ahead, the enthusiasm is wonderful, and I love to see it, and I hope that you keep it going, and maybe one day you'll decide we'd like to do a national convention, and then you come talk to the board. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Bill can talk about some of the other stuff. Again, it's wonderful to be here. I have some other things I have to get to, other Zoom things this evening. So at some point, I'm going to bow out. But for the moment, what I'll do is just turn it over to Bill. And at some point, I'll blink my video. So thank you very much. Bill?
Thank you. And Bud, thank you for that introduction. And let me begin, as Bud did, by congratulating the Vienna Wireless Society on winning the Dayton Hamvention Club of the Year. There are 2,700 ARRL affiliated clubs in the United States. And the fact that Vienna Wireless was named the #1 club of all nominees is really fantastic. So it's also been many, many years, I don't know how many, since a Roanoke Division Club has been recognized. Now, some of you on the call may be saying, what the heck is the Roanoke Division of ARRL? That division consists of 4 states: Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and West Virginia. Those are the 4 states that Bud and I represent. So the other thing was tonight, I know a lot of you people are saying, well, what the heck is a Virginia Section Convention? And well, put it very simply, that every section, I mentioned the names of the 4 sections: Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and West Virginia. Each section of those 4 gets a chance at 2 conventions. Conventions, and I'll go into what the difference is between a convention and regular Hamfest in a second. So each section gets a chance for a state convention and a section convention. And you're probably saying, well, why would you have two? And the answer is that this does not apply in the Roanoke division, but in some states, there are multiple sections. For example, the state of California has, oh gosh, I think they have 6 sections. Florida has 3 sections. New York has several sections, or at least 2. Massachusetts has 2 sections, but in the Roanoke division that Bud and I represent, each state is its own section. So it's a replication of itself. There are approximately 60 to 70 ARRL, affiliate Hamfests, per year in the Roanoke division, but there are only 2 either section or state conventions that can be awarded in each section, and there's 1 division convention. That had been last year up to the COVID, the Shelby, North Carolina Hamfest. That has traditionally been the largest in the Roanoke division. Unfortunately, as we all know, that didn't take place. So the fact that your virtual Hamfest, which is formerly Winterfest, on April 24th has been designated as a section convention is really a feather in your cap, because remember, Bud and I are involved with up to 60 to 70 ARRL affiliate conventions per year in the 4 states we represent. There's a total of 9 that we pay extra special attention to. 2 per section, so that's 2 times 4 times 8, plus the 1 division convention, that's the 9. So what do you get for that? Well, section and state conventions and division conventions get extra promotion from ARRL. For example, I am holding here the April, here's the April QST, and if you go to page 87, there is, I don't know if you can see it, there is the mention of the Virginia State Section Convention. Hope I got the right one. Yeah, all right. In addition, in the weeks to come, on the website, ARRL will promote the Hamfest as a designated section convention. So you're going to have up to 5 weeks of additional promotion above and beyond what you normally would. In addition, a section, state, or division convention gets the extremely high probability that you can have normally for a regular year, an ARRL table that would have division representation. Either Bud, myself, or both of us would be in attendance live to meet with members and discuss, as well as being at an ARRL forum. Now, those of you who have been to the Richmond Amateur Telecommunications Society, RATS Frostfest every February, that is the Virginia State Convention, and which draws about 1,500 people. And that is one at which Bud and I have appeared in the past. Unfortunately, through the timing every year, that's also the same day as the South Carolina State Convention. So the director and I switch, and we go alternate years between going to Charleston, South Carolina for the South Carolina State Convention and Richmond for the Virginia State Convention. But the fact that you folks have the opportunity out of the gate this time around to be the Virginia Section Convention is a very big feather in your cap. So we are very much looking forward to joining you on that day. Andrew, I don't know if I've answered all the questions that you have at this point. I'll be glad to answer some more in my time.
Thank you, Bill. That was terrific. No, we're under the gun because we've got to switch off promptly at 7:30. So, Bill, thank you. Bud, thank you. Ed,
yeah,
you got a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Tell us what one thing is happening in the Hot Topics section that track we should know about.
Right. First of all, for those of you who don't know, I am the Assistant Section Manager of the Virginia Section and also the Public Information Coordinator. And I wanted to let you know, your club was one of the first to welcome me. Harry, was it K3NF? Was one of the first people to even welcome me into the Public Information Coordinator job. I've worked with Brendan KM4HRR from almost the beginning of my time here in the section. You all have a great thing going. Very quickly, as far as the Virginia section, we're one of the most unique groups of people probably on the East Coast. We are extremely diverse. You're going to get a taste of that in the club roundtable section, which is after the way I designed it. We have a national roundtable and we have a Virginia section roundtable. So you'll get a taste of the diversity of the clubs in the Virginia section roundtable, everything from Southeastern Virginia to Central to West. And you guys make up the northern part. So here we go with that. Now with the national roundtable, your leaders simply asked me, we want to do something on the future of ham radio. They asked me, I said, do you want the usual and customary or do you want something really razzed up? Don said, razzed up, go for it. So I found you a group of people who are unique in a vision of what ham radio could or will look like in many years to come. And it's starting now. So you've got a really interesting guy in Sterling Man N0SSC, who, if any of you have seen his blog site or read about him, he is way ahead of his thoughts where ham radio is going. On top of that, you've got Ria Jaram, who is the section, the Hudson Division Director, N2RJ, I believe. She's coming aboard. She'll be giving her, she's young, she's on the board, the ARRL board, and she has a way of looking at ham radio again in the future, which is unique. You're also going to get a person you have seen, Sid Caesar, N7HC, I believe is his call. And I've worked with Sid and Tulio Dell'Aquila, K2PC, I believe. They're going to give their visions, and Tulio is a social media guy. And Sid was the recent committee chair of the Public Information Public Relations Committee for the ARRL. They'll be giving their unique view. And then from the more youngster part, you got Connor Black, W4 IPC, who I worked with here in Chesapeake in the southeastern part of Virginia. And that kid is different than anyone else. For example, if he doesn't get on a team, a national team, he goes ahead and makes his own, and then they go and win. And he's got unique ways of getting the way to get ham radio going. Again, the whole concept is what it's going to look like in the future. It's their world, not necessarily the world that we've known of. There's nothing nostalgic here.
Ed, thank you very much. And just so we're all grounded, what Ed's talking about are these roundtables here. Virginia Roundtable number 1 and Virginia Club Roundtable number 2. So that exciting, innovative stuff that Ed's talking about that he has built up working with Joe Sable are right here at 11:15 and 1 o'clock on this topic. Shortly, we're going to have the Zooms. We'll be there. And so you just click and go. We're unfortunately out of time, but I'm going to ask Mike, Joe, and Brendan, guys, I'm going to hold you to just 10 or 20 seconds. Tell us where we should go to learn more about your tracks. So Mike, you're first, then Joe, and then Brendan.
Thank you. I'm Mike Imany. I'm running the track that's called the Ham Radio Boot Camp. The morning session is aimed for the relatively new hams. The afternoon session is aimed at techs moving to general. There's a unifying theme through both the morning and afternoon, talking about antennas. And you go to the calendar, you go to the website for the convention, and you just click on the schedule, and you'll see what you see right there on the screen. Over to you, Don.
Joe, you're up.
What Don, what Mike said, ditto. In addition to that, to what Ed told us about the track, there are a couple of school teachers who one of the school teachers got a third grader tech license and got a fifth, and then when she was in fifth grade, she got her general license. The way they teach, I'm not sure I could graduate from elementary school these days. It'll be outstanding. If you're not in the boot camp and you're not in the ARRL track, please come to the Hot Topics. I anticipate it'll be extraordinarily interesting and fascinating. Back to you, Don.
Thank you, Joe. Brendan, you're up.
All right. Well, ditto on all of that, minus the stuff that's not relevant for my track. What I can tell you is that this is going to be exciting, both from a Virginia ARRL perspective and from the federal AUXCOM perspective. A joining of forces like this hasn't occurred anywhere, but more specifically in the DC region, where auxiliary communications and interoperability are a hot topic right now. And I'm not going to eat up time talking about that, but important people. We have Paul Gilbert, the newly appointed or newly voted in Director of Emergency Communications. I guess it's an appointment at the ARRL national level. He and I have spoken a bunch of times. He's also part of some AUXCOM groups that I participate in. He's a very forward-thinking guy, and he's still getting his feet wet in the position. So it's going to be exciting to have him as the ARRL's keynote. He and I have spoken briefly about his presentation, and I know just about everybody I know that has anything to do with ARRLs in Virginia and beyond is going to be here for at least that time slot over here. And I'm actually thinking about maybe just canceling the whole ARRL's AUXCOM thing just so I can take part in the boot camp and the other stuff, because otherwise I got to watch it back on video, and that's a whole other day. Oh my, that's a lot of video. So anyway, I encourage you to make your choice and jump around between the tracks on different, some things on the AUXCOM track we've seen before. Greg Butler, WinLink Wednesday, Zach with the comms cache. I think it's just going to be very exciting. We also have John Peterson and Tom Gagnon and myself. Both John and Tom are ECD, Emergency Communications Division from CISA, our government folks, and we have a new blossoming relationship with those folks, and inclusivity to include ARRLs, RACES, whatever you call yourselves. And the purpose of this track is to introduce all the little bits and pieces and help you tie them all together. So hope to see you on the 24th of April. If not, we know where you live.
Hey, Don, one last thing, 15 seconds.
Go.
Everybody out there, tell your friends, your relatives, post this on Facebook, TikTok, do a dance. Tell everyone, if we can break the web, that'll be great.
Thank you, Joe. I'm looking forward to us breaking the web, and we have every reason to. I have exciting news. We have sold 35 raffle tickets since 7 o'clock.
Was it all one person?
No, it was spread. And I want to thank all of you that contributed. If you haven't bought a raffle ticket tonight, there's still time. These conventions are not free to put on. They cost money. They take resources. The raffle ticket is in part how we pay for this. So thank you, everybody who bought a raffle ticket tonight. There's still time, and buy more. Don't go home without a bunch. I'm being graded on my ability to keep to a schedule, so I'm returning the mantle back to Andrew. Andrew, it's all yours.
All right. Well, thank you, Don. Thank you, Bud and Bill. Thank you guys for coming out, and Ed for coming out tonight to talk with us. It's been good to see you guys, and actually get to see you kind of face to face, even though not literally face to face, Zoom thing. So that was excellent presentation. So I'm looking forward to the section convention, and I'm excited, and I've learned a lot just tonight from all that. So I'm really, now I'm just even more giddy than I was before. So great.